to call this meeting to order. Our first item on the agenda today is item B, open forum. There were no individuals who signed up for open forum, so we'll move to our next item listed on the board's agenda, the approval of the minutes from the October 5th, 2015 special called Board of Regents meeting and November 19, 2015 Board of Regents meeting listed on page 1 of your agenda. Will everybody please look at those? Are there any corrections to these minutes? May I have a motion to approve these minutes as distributed? All right, second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? None. The motion carries and the minutes are hereby approved. Next on our board agenda is Board of Regents 4, a presentation of Regents Academic Excellence Award, University of Houston Bonner's Leaders Program, U8 System, Dr. Paula Short, Senior Vice President, Chancellor of Academic Affairs and Provost. Will you please introduce this item?
Thank you, Regent Petita. I'm extremely pleased to present our recipient for the Regents Academic Excellence Award. This award you so graciously established to honor our system institutions, programs, and initiatives that exemplify excellence in teaching, research, and public service. I'm pleased that the award this time goes to the University of Houston's Bonner's Leaders Program. It's housed in our Honors College. The Leaders Program is a structured way for community members, faculty, and students to work together to respond to the economic, social, and cultural challenges affecting the quality of life in the city of Houston, the state of Texas, through education, research, and service. Bonner's leaders commit to 10 hours of educationally meaningful service each week. That totals 270 hours each year. The inaugural class of 26 students began in fall 2013. It's my honor to welcome Bill Monroe, Dean of Honors College, to introduce to you our recipients today. Bill?
I promise this is going to be more fun. Thank you, Provost Short, Chancellor Couture, Chairman Fertitta, University of Houston System Regents, faculty, staff, students, and distinguished guests. It is my pleasure as Dean of the Honors College to present to you the Bonner Leader Program, recipient of the Regents Academic Excellence Award. You may wonder why a service learning program such as Bonner has earned such a recognition, so let me explain the place of the Bonner Program in developing academic excellence and student success. The Bonner Program is one of the cornerstones of an initiative that we are calling the CUE, the Center for University Engagement, the next big thing in honors education at the University of Houston. Our experience over the past 30 years tells us that academic achievement and student success are founded on engagement. And this relationship has been confirmed by dozens of national studies. Moreover, engagement not only increases retention and graduation rates, but also develops empathy, motivation, and deep contextual learning, thus supporting our ultimate goal as a public university, student success that pays it forward and lasts a lifetime. With programs like service learning, undergraduate research, study abroad, and our weekly Grand Challenges Forum, developed with the support of UHAA and Bauer, we are in the process of extending what we have learned about engagement beyond the 2,000 students in the Honors College to the entire campus and, as you will see, to our neighborhood and city. Our video was produced by Andrew Hamilton, the charismatic director who founded the Bonner Program just 3 years ago. Andrew, would you please stand and accept our appreciation? Thank you, Andrew. We'll run the video now, and afterwards, Bauer and Honors College sophomore Brenda Penmetza will be available for a short Q&A. We're going to need some volume there.
Too many. While I'm at the movies to get me some popcorn. All right, we're going to have to come back then. Can we go ahead and get the next person to answer questions?
Yeah, sure. Brenda, you want to come up? Or you want to go to the next item?
Is that how you would rather do it? Yeah. Oh, here it is.
Here we go.
Okay. Okay, great.
The Bonner Program was established
great.
in 2013 as a part of a larger effort in the Honors College to accomplish two goals. First, to provide substantial and academically meaningful ways for students to get involved, because engaged students are students who exceed. Second, our students really wanted to help the university fulfill its mission to improve lives of people in our neighborhood and our city. Following the national model established by the Bonner Foundation in the early 1990s, Bonners contribute between 5 and 10 hours of community service per week. Although this might not seem like much, our program is the largest in the nation, and combined, our 112 Bonners will deliver nearly 25,000 hours of service this academic year. Our program places a high value on efficacy and student leadership development. All of our projects are student-run and student-led and focused in 3 areas: healthcare, food and nutrition, and education. Our Bonners have done remarkable things. With the help of the provost in the form of the Provost Service Learning Scholarship, in the fall of 2015, we brought in the largest class of Bonners in the program's 25-year history. Some of our students got right to work, tutoring 108 7th graders at KIPP Intrepid, a public charter school near campus.
Because the public school system is dependent upon property taxes. A lot of kids from low-income communities, though they have the capabilities, they don't have the opportunities that kids from higher-income communities get. WISE is a mentoring program in which Bonners go to KIPP Intrepid, one of the charter schools in the Houston area, and we help their 7th graders with their writing, particularly so that they can improve their scores on the STAR writing test.
The Provost Service Learning Scholarship has also helped us build Lobo Prep, an SAT preparatory program at Cesar Chavez, a Title I high school near campus. SAT scores usually correlate with parental income, but our students have seen a 100-point increase on average on their test scores, and sometimes this difference makes a huge impact.
One of the proudest moments for me for last semester was when I helped one of my students through Strive, or one of my mentees, improve her SAT scores from around 800 between critical reading and math to 1,000, and that's the cutoff of which she needed to get into the University of Houston.
We're also very busy in the 3rd Ward, tutoring every 6th and 7th grader at Lawson Academy, a school on Southmore Boulevard near campus. Additionally, our students are involved in food recovery and nutrition, and with our campus kitchen chapter, we've delivered nearly 10,000 meals to people in need in partnership with New Hope Housing. These students competed in the Clinton Global Initiative University Conference last March and were the first team from Texas to win the Resolution Project's Social Venture Challenge, bringing home seed money for their project. Bonners are also working to make the 3rd Ward healthier. In partnership with Honors and Community Health, our students are planting gardens, conducting surveys on dietary habits, creating educational models on lead pollution, and gathering stories about people's lives in Houston. Bonners have accomplished this great work and much more while being engaged on campus and excelling academically. Upon entering the program, each student is given the same challenge by Director Dr. Andrew Hamilton. Be ashamed to graduate until you've won some victory for the people of Houston. And they've responded to this challenge by helping build a Tier 1 culture of service and student leadership at UH.
Honor Love!
That was Excellent.
Now, Brenda.
Hi. So if y'all have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. I can just say that this has been the most valuable experience I've had as an undergraduate, and I can say that for the other 111 students in the program as well.
Go ahead.
How do you identify your projects?
So what we do is all of our projects we do with partners in the community. So the first question we ask is, what need needs to be addressed? So rather than coming in with our own ideas, we really partner with the community, such as New Hope Housing, Honors and Community Health is doing some great work with New Waters Co-op, and we see what Third Ward residents need, and not just for adults, but students as well. So a lot of the things that we've identified are students who we know can excel, but the odds are typically against them. So what we do is we help them with their SATs. We develop their writing skills. We provide 10,000 meals for people whose average income is about $9,000 per year. And we've done all of this and proven that our work is efficient, sustainable, and really making an impact.
So I just want to thank you for being here. I know, actually, Regent Taft brought this group in the campus kitchen to our attention before, probably October or November, when you were on the news. And he sent me the link, and so we were able to look you up. So you've done some incredible work. For the campus kitchen, how many folks have you fed?
So we've recovered 5,000 pounds to date. We've delivered 10,000 meals. And with our partnership with New Hope Housing, I can say it's been approximately probably 350 different people across the 3 locations. And it's really been a great project. We are the first team that has won the Resolution Project Social Venture Challenge from Texas. And I'm happy to say that we sent 1 team last year that I was a part of to the Clinton Global Initiative University Conference. And this year alone, the Bonner program will be sending 5.
Very nice, very nice. Thank you for coming today.
Thank you.
I have a question about, did you have enough time to do all this? Being honors college, you have a lot of homework, a lot of things to do. I was wondering.
Yeah, so it's hard, but I think one thing that I've really taken into consideration, and as of other students, especially when we're talking to prospective seniors in high school to come into our program in the Honors College, is that when you hold yourself accountable to someone else and you're serving someone else, you need to make time for them. So you make time to study, and having a great community feel in the Honors College has really allowed for me to do that. And several of our students are, on the dean's list for the respective colleges. I've had a great time balancing schoolwork and this project, but I can say that it's worth it because I'm making impact now rather than later, and I'm using my skills. And even though I'm a finance major and you'd expect me to be maybe a nutrition major with the work I'm doing, it's really helped develop my leadership and a lot of the other skills of the students in the program.
My daughter graduated from this program in '95, and she enjoyed it, but she used to be so busy and that she didn't have time to come and talk to us a whole lot.
No, I applaud you and others like you that are willing to get outside themselves and see the world through another set of eyes. It makes the world a better place.
Thank you. And thank you for helping us build a Tier 1 culture of service and all of the work that you do. We benefit from a lot of the opportunities, whether it's diversity or community, that the University of Houston provides, and that's why we do what we do.
Dean Monroe, I would like to make a comment here that you should go to Texas Higher Education and make a presentation there. That way we become more prominent in
We'd love
Texas
to
Higher
do
Education.
that. We've got a great product, and a great story to tell. We'd love that.
If you have not done it, please do it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Y'all make us really proud. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Once again, great job. Next item on our agenda is a presentation of importance of shared governance, academic freedom, quality of life on campus from the President of the University of Houston Faculty Senate, Dr. Jonathan Snow. Will you please come forward and give us your remarks, please, sir?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen of the board, distinguished guests, Chairman Fertitta, Dr. Couture. I have the honor of addressing you once again, last time in August, this time as Faculty Senate President. My role here is to be the voice of the faculty as part of the process of shared governance at the University of Houston. Good shared governance is among the main characteristics distinguishing successful from unsuccessful universities. A glance at Inside Higher Ed almost any day of the week will confirm this. At the University of Houston, we have very strong shared governance, particularly at the level of policy oriented towards faculty. Together, we and the administration can celebrate a number of recent policy successes that benefit faculty and their ability to carry out the core mission of the university, both cost effectively, which is important, but also maintaining and building excellence in research and instruction. These include policies on tuition grants for grad students, distribution of gift-tied trip funds from the state, annual performance review, participation in the college budgeting process by faculty, and many more. I want to particularly thank our provost, Dr. Paula Myrick-Short, for her dedication in including faculty in her planning and policy processes under not always ideal constraints. The faculty are strongly united in rejecting the expansion of the UT system into Houston. I see that interacting with faculty. I see that as loyalty to the university and to Dr. Couture, and as a general measure of approval of how she's running things here and her long-range vision. In some bigger picture issues, the faculty do have concerns. As I said last August, the faculty perceived a certain trade-off between funding for new projects and the core mission of the university. Research and instructional infrastructure, essentially in the past, have gotten rated and now have a certain amount of underfunding. There's no blood in that particular stone. The faculty generally are concerned that new money must be brought in for new capital projects. I mean, of course, for example, the med school, which we're otherwise happy about, but we're really worried about the financial aspect. Finally, let me turn to the number one issue that faculty have at this moment, and that's campus carry. As the details of the implementation of law have emerged, and I'm on the campus carry task force, we've had a very good shared governance process for developing the campus carry implementation. But faculty, the rest of the faculty are increasingly unhappy with the law. I've been in the campus faculty forums that I've hosted. I've been screamed at. I've been accused of complicity. It's been kind of rough. I hear Michael laughing behind me. He was there too. This is not political, and it's not a fear. It's a very emotional issue. It's not political. It's not a fear of guns. It's because academics know that the intrusion of gun culture into campus inevitably harms the academic enterprise in a myriad of ways. Look at how many private universities, given the chance to opt out of campus carry, have done so. All of them, so far. Just yesterday, Kenneth Starr of Baylor University, president of Baylor University, said it's a very unwise public policy. He is a dedicated conservative who recognizes the damage to the academic enterprise that this radical campus carry law represents. So we, as a faculty, are asking you, the members of the board, and Chairman Fertitta, even if you disagree with us, to represent the academic concerns of the faculty with the legislature, as Dr. Couture and Admiral McRaven recently have done in Austin. It's a tough fight, and it's ongoing. Thomas Jefferson and James Madison, the principal authors of the Second Amendment, as members of the University of Virginia Board of Regents, kept guns off their campus. And we're asking you to help do the same. In closing, let me invite you, the board, members of the administration, as always, to our regular third Thursday faculty happy hour that's after work tonight in Eric's across the street. Thank you very much, and I'd be glad to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Dr. Snow, for your comments. This item was presented for information only and requires no other action by the board. Anybody have any questions? I would now like to move to Section 3 on your agenda, our committee reports, which lists the board's consent docket agenda items considered and unanimously approved at each of our board committee meetings heard earlier today. Pursuant to Board Bylaw 6.9, any regent may request that an individual item be removed from the board's consent docket agenda and addressed by the full board. I would now like to ask the chair of each of these committees to present their respective reports. Our first committee report will be addressed by Regent Durga, overall chair of the Endowment Management and Committee. Regent, would you please present your committee report?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Endowment Management Committee met earlier today, February 18, 2016, and unanimously approved the following action items for submission on the board's consent docket agenda for final board approval today as follows. Number 1, approval of the fiscal year 2016 University Advancement Endowment Assessment Rate of 1.5% UH system. Approval is requested to modify the US system endowment fund statement of investment objectives and policies, US system. And number 3, annual review and approval of US system investment policy for non-endowed funds, US system. I would like to report that the committee heard the report from Cambridge Associates and approved the following private investments of $7.5 million to Jackson Square Ventures 2 LP and reinvested into existing hedge fund managers. These recommendations by Cambridge required committee approval only. Mr. Chairman, this concludes my committee report. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Our next committee report will be addressed by the chair of the Audit and Compliance Committee, Regent Roger Welder.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Audit and Compliance Committee met earlier today, February 18, 2016, and approved the report on the Board of Regents Policy 55.01, Contracts, UH System. Mr. Chairman, this concludes my committee report.
Thank you, sir. The next committee report will be addressed by Regent Paula Mendoza, Chair of the Academic and Student Success Committee. Regent Mendoza, would you please give us your committee report?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Academic and Student Success Committee met earlier today, February 18th, 2016, and approved the following action item for submission on the board's consent docket agenda for the final board approval today as follows. Approval of University of Houston Victoria honorary degree. The committee also heard a presentation on the UH College of Arts, which was unanimously approved by the committee, but will be addressed by the full board later in our meeting. Mr. Chairman, this concludes my committee report.
Thank you, Regent Mendoza. Our next committee report will be given by Regent Welcome Wilson, Jr., Chair of the Facilities, Construction, and Master Planning Committee. Regent Wilson, may we hear your committee report?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Facilities, Construction, and Master Planning Committee meeting was held earlier today, February 18th, 2016, and approved the following action items for submission on the board's consent docket agenda for final board approval today as follows. Approval is requested of the University of Houston Sugarland Master Plan, including the new academic building project site. Approval is requested for revisions to the system-wide Art Acquisition Committee Procedures Manual, and approval is requested for appointment of committee members and appointment term of system-wide Art Acquisition Committee, UH System. Mr. Chairman, this concludes my committee report.
Thank you, Regent Wilson. Our last committee report today will be given by Regent Spencer Armour, who is Chair of Finance and Administration Committee. Regent, may we hear your committee report?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Finance and Administration Committee meeting was held earlier today, February 18th, 2016, and approved the following action items for submission on the board's consent docket agenda for final board approval as follows. Number one, approval is requested to delegate authority to the Chancellor to negotiate and execute contracts for the design and construction of a new academic building at the University of Houston Sugar Land. Two, approval is requested to delegate authority to the Chancellor to negotiate and execute contracts exceeding $1 million for the purchase of goods or services, excluding construction contracts at the UH system. Three, approval is requested to delegate authority to the Chancellor to negotiate and execute construction contracts exceeding $1 million for projects at the UH system. Four, approval is requested to delegate authority to the Chancellor to take all actions to lease classroom and faculty and staff office space in Katy for the University of Houston, Victoria. Number five, approval is requested to write off accounts and notes receivable for fiscal year 2015 UH system. Six, approval is requested to delegate authority to the Chancellor to negotiate and execute contracts for the purchase of insurance policies for fiscal year 2016 UH system. And seven, approval is requested for the University of Houston system fiscal year 2017 holiday schedule UH system. Please note, the committee also heard a presentation requesting changes to the fiscal year 2017 and fiscal year 2018 fixed tuition rates, variable rate undergraduate and graduate tuition and fee rates, mandatory student recommended fees, and voluntary and optional fees at the UH system campuses, which the committee approved, but will be discussed and considered by the full board at our board meeting shortly. Mr. Chairman, this concludes my report.
Thank you, Regent Armour. Pursuant to Board Bylaw 6.9, does any regent request that an individual item be removed from the board's consent docket agenda and addressed by the full board for further discussion today? If not, may I have a motion to approve the items as presented in each of the committee reports?
So moved.
So moved. Second, Beth. Is there a second? Yes, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All items listed under the various committee reports consent docket agendas have been approved by the full board. We will now move to Section 4 on your agenda. The committee report items not addressed in the consent docket but requiring final board approval today. We currently have two items listed under Section 4. One item from the Academic and Student Success Committee and the other item from the Finance and Administration Committee. All right, let me get my words right here. Since the full board was present for the committee meeting, do we have any other questions on the approval of the UH College of Arts presentation? So we don't have to go through that presentation again since everyone was here.
But you still need to vote since
Yes.
the whole board didn't vote.
So may I have a motion to approve? Okay, we got it. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The item is hereby approved by the full board. I'm sorry to knock you out of that camera time over there. All right. Our next item is approval is requested for changes to full year 2017, full year 2018 fixed tuition rates, variable rate undergraduate and graduate tuition and fee rates, mandatory student recommended fees, and voluntary optional fees at the UH system campuses. Again, as the full board was present, are there any additional questions, or would y'all like to see that presentation again? If not, may I have a motion to approve these items as presented?
So moved.
All right. Second? All right. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? The item is hereby approved by the full board. We will now move to Board of Regents 6, an update on ongoing U of H athletics facilities and improvements. This will be provided by our athletic director, administration, and finance at University of Houston, Mr. Hunter Urachek. Would you please come forward, sir?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good afternoon. Hopefully this will be an exciting presentation. You guys will be as excited as I am to give this. But first, before I get started with the presentation, we've had a great deal of success over the last 9 to 12 months as a Department of Athletics in a variety of areas. And I just want to thank the leadership of this institution, our chairman of our Board of Regents, each of you Regents, and our president and the university administration for your support and leadership. It doesn't happen by chance. It happens because we have great leaders of this institution, and we're just following suit in the success we're having at our Department of Athletics. So thank you for your support, and I am sure it will continue, correct? And a little bit of good news. It's a lot of good news. If you follow me on social media, I know Dr. Couture does, but today was the 19th consecutive day that we've sold 100 or more football season tickets to new season ticket holders for the 2016 season.
Pretty damn good.
To put that in perspective, we're now at 3,500 plus new season tickets in February when the season doesn't start till September, and we had 2 days last year in our sales season where we sold 100 or more football season tickets.
Congratulations.
Now on to the presentation. Our facilities and our infrastructures are a big part of the success that we're having. It started with a $125 million TDSU football stadium. It went on to the Guy V. Lewis development facility for our basketball program, and on to these facilities that I'm going to show you. First, the football indoor facility. This is really the next piece of the puzzle for our football program to continue and give them the assistance they need to compete and recruit on a national level. I think Coach Herman's been quite vocal about what this facility means to him and to his football program and our football program moving forward. As you can see from the renderings here, quite a facility. It would sit at the corner of Scott and Holman, adjacent to our current practice fields and adjacent to our football stadium. The plan is, and we're working initially with the city, to close Holman to create a thoroughfare for our football program to get back and forth to that facility, close Holman at the Scott Street end of that. You'd still be able to access the parking deck, and then for major events, football games, etc., you would be able to open Holman back up again. That's the initial plan. Again, it has not been approved, but to sit right there in that landscape. One thing you'll notice is we've pushed that as close to that parking deck structure as possible, and that's so that we don't infringe on the skyline view that you have of downtown Houston from the football stadium. And so right now, the way it sits on that piece of property, it does not infringe on the view for from the football stadium back towards downtown. You can go to the next slide. A little bit about the facility. It's an 80,000 square foot facility. It is air conditioning. It's really a steel structure with a 120-yard synthetic football surface on the ground surface. It would also have a 12,000 square foot football-only strength and conditioning center. Right now, our football program shares about a 12,000 square foot facility with another 300 student athletes and 15 other sports. And so this gives a football dedicated strength conditioning center just for that program. The cost, not to exceed $20 million is the initial budget for that. We've got $5.75 million has been raised to date for that project. $2.5 million of that is cash on hand. The design services, which you approved earlier today, and the finance and administration consent package is $1.6 million. Any questions on that facility? Okay. The design phase will take about 6 to 7 months, which will take us to the fall. And if we've raised the funds necessary for that, we would put it out to bid this fall after, of course, approval from the board. And it's about a 9 to 12 month construction project. So if everything falls into place as it has so far, it would be completed sometime in the fall of 2017. And you may remember that we tied the buyout and Coach Herman's contract to completion of that facility by December 31st of 2017. Any other questions on the indoor football facility? You can go on to the next slide. Our baseball clubhouse.
I've got one question.
Yes, sir.
I know there's been some talk about additional office space? Is this thing is it being constructed for a potential phase 2, or is this it for the indoor practice?
This is it for this facility. We have looked at taking the end zone building, which is really the visiting team locker room right now, which was designed at the stadium to build up above that to include a second floor. The long-range vision would be to turn that into a football operations building where a locker room and team lounge would be on the bottom floor, coaches' offices, meeting rooms, and a recruiting lounge that looks into the stadium would be on the second floor.
Wouldn't be attached to the,
Would not be attached.
okay. Thank you.
I think we may need oil and gas to come back for that to happen, Regent Armour. The Baseball Clubhouse. As approved by the board back in your 2015 session, this is the land lease agreement between the Houston Athletic Foundation and Lone Star Construction, owned by Daryl and Lori Schrader, that would build this facility on this piece of land that is on the left field line of our current baseball park, which is now, as of Saturday, officially named the Daryl and Lori Schrader Baseball Park, based on their generosity for this clubhouse. This is a gift-in-kind project valued at $3.5 million. You can go to the next slide, please. This is a baseball clubhouse. The focus is on the student-athlete amenities in this facility: locker room, a team lounge, academic and film study areas, sports medicine area would be housed in this facility. It's roughly 19,000 square feet spread amongst 2 levels. We took out what really was not a necessary hitting facility in this project. We have hitting bays and a current hitting facility, and so what that allowed us to do is to make sure that we finish this baseball clubhouse in the same manner that we finished the Lewis Development Facility for our basketball program. Construction on this project should begin sometime during the month of March and will be concluded sometime in the fall of 2016. Any questions on this project?
You said land
Yes.
lease, is that just during the construction, or how does that work?
Yes, that's just during the construction. That property will be donated back to the university once the project is completed. Is that the correct way to phrase that? Yes. Donna, thank you. Any questions on that project? You can go to the next slide, please. Thank you. And finally, the Basketball Center Capital Renewal Project. How about this vision looking across Cullen back to this and what this can be? This is a very early artist rendering of what this facility, tied to the new basketball development facility, what our new basketball center could be. You can go on to the next slide. Just a little bit of history. Our current venue was built in 1969. The life expectancy of a venue like that without any major renovation is approximately 50 years. The building's 47 years old. The estimated project completion would be late in the fall of 2018, which would be the 50th birthday, per se, of this venue. The total project budget has already been approved not to exceed $60 million, and estimates for total replacement value of this building from the ground up, if you started from scratch, would be $97 million, and that does not include the cost to demo the current venue. You can go on to the next slide. Just a couple of comparable projects. The Schulmeyer Arena at Texas Christian University just went through a $72 million capital renewal project. That venue opened up this January, now 54 years old, originally constructed in 1961. Moody Coliseum on the campus of Southern Methodist University, originally constructed in 1956, just went through a $47 million capital renewal project. It opened up in January of 2015. That venue is now 59 years old. And then the Wise Pies Arena at the University of New Mexico. Why we chose this is very similar architecture and structure to our current basketball center, our basketball venue. Originally constructed in 1966, went through a $60 million capital renewal project back in 2010 when it was 44 years old. Now I'm going to turn it over to David to kind of give you the nuts and bolts of really what will happen in this capital renewal project.
Thank you, Hunter. Can you go to the next slide, please? As Hunter mentioned, we will be doing a capital renewal project. And in a capital renewal project, what we will likely end up doing, and our intent is to take the structure down to the concrete. We will be taking out the ceiling, taking out all the seating, taking out the court, building the building back literally from scratch would be our goal. The building itself, as any building of this age, has got code compliant issues that are inherent in the building. So once we break the seal on it and start doing a lot of the work, we will be forced to bring it up to full code compliant in terms of ADA and fire codes. Bathrooms are significantly under number of bathrooms we need, as well as fire code. Since we will be changing the seating, we'll have to look at all the fire code and egress issues in the building. One of the major issues we have is the hazardous building materials in the building. We have a lot of asbestos, which will have to be dealt with. We also have a large amount of deferred maintenance that we need to do on the mechanical, electrical, and plumbing systems. Once we do all this work, we will need to upgrade and replace many of those systems. As I mentioned, we will be taking out all of the seating in the facility, coming back with new seating. The next slide, please. And then we will be reconfiguring the seating. Right now, the seating is in a bowl configuration, which results in much of the seating that would be what you would consider to be the high dollar seating being significantly away from the floor. So we will be raising the floor. That will increase and improve the sight lines of the facility, and then moving seats up next to the actual court. We will be developing a large number of premium seatings, club seats, luxury suites, lounge boxes, etc. This will increase the sellability of many of those seats. We will be working in expanding the concourse level to, again, improve circulation, deal with fire egress issues, more bathrooms again. We will be raising the ceiling. This is a major effort to get the ceiling out of the way. That will increase the roominess of the facility, as well as allow us to work on scoreboards and other issues there. As Hunter showed you, there's a new facade. It will complement what the development facility did. Very modern looking, very attractive, I believe. Again, we will also be doing a lot of concourse and concession areas, complete replacement of those areas. Next slide. Now we're going to show you a nice video that we've put together of what we believe this could look like from the interior. This will show you some of what this facility could look like with these renovations. As you see, the seating is down next to the court level. You can see, obviously, the color is red. If you can scroll up, you can see the ceiling has now been raised, and you have the scoreboard that drops down from the ceiling. There are some concerns about the clearances for certain venues, especially volleyball, but we will be looking at options there. But it will be a modern facility that will represent us as a high-quality Tier 1 university. That's all I have, if there's any questions.
What about the roof? Is it
the actual roof itself,
Yeah.
built-up roof? At this point, we will be taking a closer look at that during the design phase. At this moment in time, we have no significant issues with it, but we want to take a look at what the useful life is on it, and if necessary, we'll have to take a look at either replacement or repairs to it.
There may be a branding opportunity, for incoming hobby flights available on the roof. We might want to integrate one of our
Absolutely,
UH
yes, sir.
logos on it if we.
I'm sure we could get a red UH on there. Yes, sir.
Would it be possible to do a lesser scope on a project like this?
I think that to make the facility what we want it to be, I think this is the scope that is needed. Now, once we get into the architect and engineering work and get behind the wall, so to speak, we'll see where we're at. I think a $60 million project, we believe, based on some of the historical and comparable projects, we believe is sufficient to do the work. But again, renovation work can be a lot of unknowns. Once we get in there, we don't know what we're going to get into sometimes.
Remember, we spent $25 million on the basketball center too, which a lot of times is incorporated into this. So that was really kind of phase one. So we really are building a brand new facility because all of that could have gone into this part of it.
Exactly.
Yes,
And, sorry, what's the seating, what's the new seating gonna be?
We're going from approximately 8,500 seats down to approximately 7,500 seats. So we're dropping around 1,000 seating. Most of that gets incorporated into the lounge seatings, the suite seatings, as well as us bringing the court up and bringing the seatings down next to the court. So that is our estimate right now. Once we get into the actual design and look at the details, that number may change a bit. Obviously, we want to keep as many seats as we can, but we're anticipating losing up to 1,000.
Hunter, what is the basic seating of most college basketball arenas?
Anywhere, TCU's renovated arena is right about 7,500 seats in their new arena. They're what we aspire to be at that level, and so I think it's really, you got the Dean Dome that seats 23,000. So,
Right. But if we filled up every seat for everything we had going on in there, we'd be really happy people.
Absolutely. And what this will offer, similar to what the football stadium offered, it'll offer club seats and loge boxes and suites that we do not have currently in the basketball center. So.
Any other questions?
I have a quick question.
Go ahead.
So a little bit
Yes, ma'am.
outside of, with the arena, but earlier we talked about project managers. So when we were talking about that earlier in finance, about having project managers for specific projects.
Yes, ma'am.
So we would have one for this project that reports to UH, not, as opposed to the prime contractor?
Yes, ma'am. This is going to be managed with a in-house project manager that we have a lot of history and a lot of faith in. This gentleman has worked extensively with athletics and understands their needs. The project management augmentation contract would bring in personnel to deal, I think, to take some of the load off of those in-house folks. And we always want to have our in-house folks doing the contracts like this, the big ones that mean a lot to the university.
Is that the same project manager that overlooked the basketball?
Yes, sir. That is Trent Williams. He is one of
That
my
worked
best
well.
project managers. He will be he'd handled the practice, the facility, the development facility, and he will be overseeing this project as well.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Well, those three projects look extremely, extremely exciting, and I think when you have facilities like that, you win in those sports, and it helps fundraising for all colleges and everything to do with the academic side of a university also, from other universities I've been involved with. So it's something to shoot for, and gosh, we'll do whatever we can do to help you guys get it done. We're excited.
Well, great. Thank you for your
Thank you,
support.
sir.
Thank you.
This item was presented for information only and requires no further board action. We will now move to Section 6 on your agenda, the Chancellor's report. Dr. Couture, would you please give us your report?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In this report, I generally try to give you either some very critical updates or basically achievements from all of our campuses, because we don't, celebrate enough of what we do and how accomplished our faculty and staff and students are. So first of all, for the system level, you already met. I introduced Dr. Michael Olivas. He's the William B. Bates Chair in Law and Director of the UH Institute of Higher Education Law and Governance. He has been named as interim president at UH Downtown. Then William Flores, UHD's previous president, will serve as research fellow in the Institute for Educational Research and Evaluation, which is housed in the University of Houston's College of Education. That's where his passion is. In the Sugar Land and Katy area, just wanted you to know the UH and UH Victoria have signed an MOU regarding UHV's transition out of UH Sugar Land campus and the UH System Cinco Ranch facility. So this MOU has three parts. One, that all of UHV's offerings in Fort Bend County will be consolidated in one temporary location beginning in fall of 2016. UHV officials are currently looking into several options to rent a facility. B, UH will provide UHV with an agreed-upon fund to cover all of the cost of transition to ensure UHV is held harmless, and they have the flexibility to make the changes they need. And C, the UH system will build a permanent campus in Katy, which will be home to all programs from UH and UHV. And we are currently looking at the best site to locate our campus, and UHV will be involved in the campus design. At the University of Houston level, I know we talked a lot about oil and gas downturn, so that's a cause for concern, but at the same time, let's not forget that we won the Peach Bowl. So the reason I'm telling you the next thing is because, our philanthropic gifts are going just as smooth, actually better than last year. So since our meeting here in November of 2015, we have received 17 gifts of $500,000 or above from alumni and friends, and topping that list is a $6 million gift from Houston businessman R. Stephen Stagner to name and support the Sales Excellence Institute at the C.T. Bauer College of Business. Phi Beta Kappa, which we received in October, the formal installation ceremony will be on March the 4th at the Morse Opera House. Phi Beta Kappa, the nation's oldest academic honors society, has, and there are 4,600 institutions of higher education, has only 283 chapters nationwide. That would be an exciting time. The Republican debate is coming to campus, as you all know. We will be the focus of attention nationwide a week from today. Actually, the media will be here starting Monday. The final GOP, this debate is a final GOP debate before the Super Tuesday primary elections. This debate will be held in Morse Opera House as well. It will be broadcast on the CNN television network, CNN.com in Spanish, on Telemundo network. Numerous events are scheduled across campus because for us, everything is an academic learning experience. Faculty have put together an incredible slate of panels on 23rd of February on the similar topics, and almost 100 students are expected to experience the debate as volunteers, but as I understand, the CNN will pay the volunteers as well, so that's a good thing for our students. College of Education is sharing a multi-million-dollar Gates Foundation grant, $34.7 million grant to be exact, and this is for teacher preparation. The college will be part of a 6-university consortium that pairs higher education institutions with local schools districts to review and renew teaching practices. UH will partner with Houston Independent School District to create teacher preparation centers and partnerships to leverage data, knowledge, and best practices. Now, on a couple of other items still from University of Houston. Since our last board meeting, again, I want to say we won the Peach Bowl, but also Coach Herman was named the first-year Coach of the Year by the Football Writers Association of America. Pretty significant. He was also a finalist for the Bear Bryant Award. He will also proudly present the University of Houston and our football team when he writes as Grand Marshal at the head of the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo Parade throughout downtown Houston on February the 27th. Several faculty members and administrators have won some incredible honors and awards. I don't want to list them all because that would take several pages, but just wanted to show you the breadth of those awards. Professor Diana Chow, he's a pharmaceutics professor and director of the Institute for Drug Education and Research. She has been named a fellow of the National Academy of Inventors. Robert McPherson, our Dean of the College of Education, has received a Lifetime Achievement Award from the Texas Psychological Association. And Vice Chancellor Richard Walker, he's the Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs and Enrollment Services, received the 2016 Pillar of the Profession Award from NASPA, which is the National Organization for Student Affairs Administrators. Now coming to UH Clear Lake. UH Clear Lake received approval from the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board for its third doctoral degree, a doctorate in psychology in health service psychology. This is the first doctoral program to be offered in the School of Human Sciences and Humanities and the first of its kind offered by a Texas public university. Also, UH Clear Lake will be offering a MD MBA program with UTMB in Galveston. The program, of course, will have a very strong practical focus and entrepreneurship aspect. National rankings are looking very good for UH Clear Lake. They are improving on everything from Best Line Graduate Business Program, Best Line MBA program. Everywhere the ranking is moving up. Also, the pay scale, a leading provider of on-demand compensation data and software, ranked our University of Houston Clear Lake number 9th out of 51 Texas universities overall, and number 5 out of Texas public universities in salary earnings for students with a bachelor's degree. Coming to UH Downtown, UH Downtown's Master of Business Administration program topped the list of the Houston Business Journal's 2015 largest Houston area MBA programs. In only 2 years, the program has grown from its smallest to largest in HBJ's ranking, now housing 893 students. The U.S. Department of Education awarded a $3 million grant distributed over a 5-year period to Pathways to Teaching Careers, a collaborative initiative between UHD and Lone Star College, Kingwood. UH Downtown also opened its Welcome Center. The 26,000 square foot space includes academic admissions, testing services, disabled student services, and veteran services, enabling prospective and current students to access resources in a single convenient location. Moving on to UH Victoria, UHV shared success stories and handed out many awards, including the prestigious Presidential Medal during the 2014-15 President's Annual Report and Excellence Awards. While I could probably name all of those people receiving awards, I wanted to point out a former Regent and former chair of the UH System Board of Regents, Morgan Dunn O'Connor, who received the Presidential Medal, the highest award bestowed by UH Victoria. UHV students, just like you heard from Bonner program, they continue to make a difference in the community by volunteering at different organizations, the Food Bank of the Golden Crescent, cooking dinner at Christ's Kitchen, donating their own meals for National Hunger and Homelessness Awareness Week. More than 150 students donated 1,374 meals from their university meal plans, and the meals were converted into dollars at UHV. Finally, UHV has selected Cindy Hudson, who has nearly 40 years of professional health experience, to oversee development of the university's new nursing program set to start in August. Hudson comes to UHV from Langston University's School of Nursing and Health Professionals in Oklahoma, where she was dean. UHV will launch a registered nurse to Bachelor of Science in Nursing program in fall of 2016. So a lot is happening on all of our campuses, which makes me very proud and very grateful. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Excellent, excellent. One of the best we've ever had. Thank you, Madam Chancellor. I would now like to move to our executive session. The Regents will now go into executive session pursuant to the sections of the Texas Government Code listed on page 4 and 5 of your agenda. Only those invited will, of course, get to stay, and we will make it quick, and we will see you shortly. Thank you.
I'd like Mr. McShane to stay, please.
All right. I'd like to reconvene the Board of Regents meeting. The Regents met in executive session and heard a pre-litigation, litigation status report, and other legal matters, discussed personal matters, discussed a naming gift, and land acquisitions. Following the various discussions by the board, the following board recommendations and approvals are as follows. Approval is requested to ratify the appointment of interim president of the University of Houston Downtown. May I have a motion to approve this request as presented?
So moved.
Okay. Second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? The request to ratify.
Oh, we have one objection.
Your vote didn't count.
Sorry.
Overruled.
The request is to ratify the appointment of Dr. Michael Livius as an interim president for University of Houston Downtown, effective February 3rd, 2016, has been approved. Thank you. Congratulations, sir. Approval is requested to delegate authority. You know, I was looking down and you said somebody opposed. And I said, oh my God, let me look up and see who I have an issue with here. When I had a public board once, I had a person not vote with me once, and they weren't reelected the next year, of course. And that was even after Sarbanes-Oxley. I shouldn't have said that, especially in a public meeting. All right. Approval is requested to delegate authority to the Chancellor to negotiate a contract extension for Raymond Vic Morgan, President, University of Houston, Victoria. May I have a motion to approve this request as presented? So moved. Second. Is there, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None. The request to delegate authority to the Chancellor to negotiate a contract extension for Raymond Vic Morgan as President of the University of Houston, Victoria through August 31st, 2017 was approved. Congratulations. Approval is requested for the naming of the Gutierrez Energy Management Institute at the C.T. Bauer College of Business in accordance with University of System Administrative Memorandum, University of Houston. May I have a motion to approve this item as presented?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
And that's Gutierrez.
Gutierrez. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? This item is hereby approved by the board as presented. Thank you. Right. Okay. Approval is requested to delegate authority to the Chancellor to take all actions to the purchase of land, President for the purchase of land for the University of Houston, Victoria by the U8 system. May I have a motion to approve this item as presented?
So moved.
A second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
The request to delegate authority to the Chancellor to take all actions in purchase of land for U8 Victoria by the U8 system is hereby approved. The board is presented. Dr. Couture, any other board members, trustees, do you have any further comments?
No, sir.
If there is no further business, this meeting is hereby adjourned. Thank you very, very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.